I'm David Woolard, and I'm the costume designer for Dames at Sea. Dames at Sea takes place in a small theater, but it's harkening back to the Busby Berkeley, the glamour days of Hollywood of the early 30s, when there were all these great musicals, all singing, all dancing, the young Koreans coming to Broadway to be a star, making it in theater, and like being a success overnight. And it's embracing those films and relishing them. I started my research on YouTube, which is so helpful because there's so much online now with the old 1930s films of like looking at Busby Berkeley and looking at Ruby Keeler films and seeing Jane Powell and like looking at all of those and seeing how they moved, what they did, and the different feel of that. And that's really where I did most of my research. One of the big surprises of Dames at Sea is that there are only 6 people in the show. And it's really great that it's such an intimate thing that these people are playing what seems like a chorus of 30, 40 people. Granted, there are a lot of costume changes that a number of the people made. Not to play different characters, just because there are a lot of costumes, because it's about those big, lush musicals of the 30s. What the surprise, though, is that all these people get together and make a great little show seem really big because the dancing is so huge in it. I start with the 30s, or I start with the period, but then I go into the fitting room, and I feel that I have to make it look flattering on the actress. And so it's not like I have a 2x4, it's not like scenery where you say the flat will be made like this, and it will be. Because each actor brings their own thing, their own body, their own energy, their own size and everything with them. And I want to keep that as part of the thing that we're doing so that it's not a costume on top of a person. When Randy Skinner and I started talking about Dames at Sea, one of the main things we decided to set up originally was what the sailor uniform was, because it's about the 2 guys coming to New York and being in the theater, but they are sailors. And we decided that normally they're done in the white uniforms. What is done originally, it was done in black and white. So, because they were trying to get that 1930s movie idea. What we wanted to do in this version is do them in their winter blues so that we could get a more lush Technicolor idea to this, to our version, and also to separate it out from a lot of the other, from On the Town and other shows that were around at the same time. And they're also moving, tap, 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 tap all the time, dancing all the time. So the fabrics needed to be lighter, and we had to find the perfect blue fabric that just gave a little bit of stretch. And that was a great find that everyone fell in love with, this wonderful fabric that we've made up into the sailor uniforms. And then for the ladies, they just go through so many different clothes. It's about keeping them as movable and different movements for the different dances, so that the beguine is a lush, soft, it's a chiffon dress so that it really moves well and flows with the dance. It was great to try to figure out, okay, what fabrics are going to work, what colors are going to work, finding out the paints and everything else that we needed to use to make that a really interesting thing. And then also Singapore Sue, which was a whole nother look and a whole bunch of research that I got to do, and trying to figure out what melange I wanted to put together for that number. Also, the number Dames at Sea that's in Act 2, we have Mona, Ruby, and Joan, and we wanted to kind of come back to their looks. So that Joan, originally we see her in shorts and a top. So I wanted to keep her in the shorts and a top idea, Ruby in a skirt, and Mona, we see a lot of her in Act 1 in slacks. So I wanted to repeat that for her Dames at Sea look as well. I think that my role in what I'm giving to the audience in Dames at Sea is that they can hark back to that time frame or to those movies that they've seen, that they're in their psyche, and that it's just a joyous, happy entertainment. It's just about the entertainment. It's not saving people's lives or anything. It's about theatrical love and just having a lovely night of entertainment.